Today, we delve into the dark and mysterious world of the Numbers Gang, a notorious criminal organization rooted deep within the South African prison system. Emerging from the dust and despair of the late 19th century, the Numbers Gang's origins are steeped in the struggle for survival. In the harsh conditions of the South African gold mines, two brothers found themselves at a crossroads. Faced with oppressive labor conditions and a bleak future, they chose a path of defiance, a path that would set the stage for one of the most notorious criminal organizations in history. These brothers, Magadian and Rashid Staggy, are the founding fathers of the Numbers Gang. Born out of desperation, the Numbers Gang was initially a means of survival, a response to the dire social and economic conditions that enslaved the brothers and their peers. But as the gang grew, it evolved into a complex network, a dangerous powerhouse that thrived on the very system that sought to suppress it. The Numbers Gang was not just a product of its time, it was a mirror reflecting the grim reality of the socio-economic landscape of South Africa. The late 1800s were fraught with social unrest and economic instability. The discovery of gold and diamonds led to a surge in immigration, exacerbating competition for resources and amplifying racial tensions. The working class, particularly those of color, bore the brunt of these hardships. In this crucible of hardship and conflict, the Numbers Gang found its foothold. It provided a sense of belonging, a beacon of hope for those left behind by society. And as it grew, so did its influence. The gang's power seeped into every corner of the South African prison system, its numbers swelling with each passing year. As we journey deeper into this tangled web, we find ourselves standing at the very heart of the Numbers Gang's formation, a world where survival is the only law, and power is the only currency. We are left with a chilling realization. The Numbers Gang, born from the ashes of a broken society, is a testament to the human will to survive, no matter the cost. As we uncover the foundations of this infamous gang, we find ourselves in a world where survival is the only law, and power is the only currency. The Numbers Gang is not just a random assembly of criminals, but a highly organized structure divided into the 26S, 27S, and 28S. The 26S, the 27S, and the 28S. These aren't just numbers, they're factions, each with a distinctive role within the gang's complex hierarchy. The 26S, the 27S, and the 28S are, in essence, the beating heart of the Numbers Gang, each serving a crucial function that keeps the gang alive and thriving. Let's start with the 26S. They're the moneymakers, the hustlers. Their focus is on acquiring goods, whether through theft, smuggling, or other illicit means. They're the economic engine that drives the gang, ensuring a steady flow of resources and keeping the gang financed. But don't be fooled by their role. They're as ruthless and hardened as any other member of the gang. Next, we have the 27S, the peacekeepers, if you will. Their role is to maintain order and discipline within the ranks. They're the mediators, the rule enforcers, the ones who ensure that the gang's code is upheld at all times. They're the glue that holds the gang together, preventing internal strife from tearing it apart. They're the ones who keep the gang running like a well-oiled machine. Finally, we have the 28S, the oldest faction within the gang. Their role is the most violent. They're the enforcers, the muscle. They carry out the violent acts, the assaults, the murders. They're the ones who make the Numbers Gang feared and respected. They're the ones who ensure that the gang's reputation remains intact. Each faction, each number has a role to play, and each role is crucial to the gang's survival. The 26S provide the resources, the 27S maintain the order, and the 28S enforce the gang's will. Together they form a formidable and terrifying force. Underneath the chaos, there's a rigid structure, a hierarchy that dictates life within the Numbers Gang. In this ruthless underworld, rules are the backbone of survival. In the precarious environment of the Numbers Gang, there exists a stringent set of guidelines, a code of conduct, if you will, that each member is obliged to follow. These rules are not merely suggestions, but a lifeline, a pathway to survival, in a world where the slightest misstep could spell disaster. The initiation rituals of the Numbers Gang are as complex as they are brutal. For the uninitiated, it's not just about proving one's strength or prowess, but demonstrating absolute loyalty and dedication to the gang. These rituals are not for the faint-hearted, often involving acts of violence or other criminal activities. It's a rite of passage that weeds out the weak, and only the toughest, most ruthless individuals emerge on the other side, ready to bear the weight of their respective numbers. Once you're in for life. There's no backing out, no second thoughts. The gang operates on a strict hierarchy, with each number holding a specific rank and responsibilities. The 26S are the foot soldiers, the 27S the peacekeepers, and the 28SS the leaders. Each member knows their place, and to step out of line is to invite retribution. The consequences for breaking the rules are severe, and mercy is a concept foreign to the numbers gang. Betrayal, disobedience, or any form of disloyalty are met with swift and brutal punishment. It's a harsh reality, but in the cutthroat world of the numbers gang, it's the only way to maintain order. Loyalty is valued above all else, and those who fail to uphold it pay the highest price. To outsiders, these rules may seem harsh, even inhumane, but within the walls of the numbers gang, they are the glue that holds the organization together. They're the cornerstone of a system that, despite its violent and criminal nature, thrives on order, loyalty, and respect. In the numbers gang, loyalty is everything, and betrayal, a death sentence. Over the decades, the numbers gang has grown, evolved, and spread its influence beyond the prison walls. The gang has proven itself adaptable, resilient, and capable of expanding its reach into the streets and communities of South Africa. Initially, the numbers gang was a phenomenon confined to the prison system. Its members were incarcerated individuals, and its activities were limited to the confines of the penitentiary. However, as the years rolled by, the gang began to extend its tentacles into the free world. It started to recruit individuals from the streets, and its activities moved from mere prison dominance to street crime. Street crime was just the beginning. The gang quickly realized that there was more to gain from the lucrative world of drug trafficking. The profits were enormous, and the demand was ever present. This new venture provided the gang with a steady stream of income, a way to finance their operations, and a means to solidify their power and influence. But the influence of the numbers gang didn't stop at crime. It began to permeate the social fabric of South Africa. Its members became figures of fear and respect in their communities. They set the tone for what was acceptable and what wasn't. They dictated the rules of the game, not just within the gang, but also in the neighborhoods they controlled. The numbers gang became more than just a criminal organization. It became a societal force, a dark undercurrent shaping the lives of many South Africans. It showed its ability to adapt, to evolve, and to expand its reach. From the prison yard to the city streets, from petty crime to drug trafficking, from a group of inmates to a societal influence, the numbers gang has shown a remarkable ability to survive and thrive. This expansion and evolution have not been without their consequences. The influence of the numbers gang has brought with it an increase in crime, violence, and social unrest. It has instilled fear in the hearts of many and has cast a pall over the communities it controls. The numbers gang has evolved from a prison gang to a societal menace, casting a long, dark shadow over South Africa. The numbers gang today stands as a grim reminder of the power of organized crime. This formidable entity, born in the bowels of South Africa's prisons, has woven its intricate web across the nation's penal system, asserting a chilling control over inmates and even some wardens. The gang's influence, like an ominous shadow, looms large over the lives of those within and even beyond prison walls, affecting South African society in ways that are both palpable and subtle. The numbers gang is not just a gang, it's a culture, a system, a way of life that thrives on fear, obedience, and a perverse sense of loyalty. Its members, the 26s, 27s, and 28s, each play their distinctive part in this ruthless machine, contributing to the gang's survival and growth. Efforts to dismantle the numbers gang have been many and varied. Law enforcement agencies, non-profit organizations, and well-meaning individuals have all tried to break the stranglehold of this gang on South Africa's prisons. These initiatives have met with varying degrees of success, and yet the numbers gang persists, a testament to its adaptability, resilience, and the deep roots it has sunk into the prison culture. As we stand at the precipice of the future, the fate of the numbers gang hangs in the balance. Will the relentless efforts of those opposing it finally bear fruit? Will the gang adapt and evolve as it always has to survive another day? Or will the tide finally turn against this relentless force, bringing an end to its reign of terror? These are questions that remain unanswered. The story of the Numbers Gang is a chilling narrative of survival, power, and the human capacity for organized crime. As we look to the future, one can only hope for a turn of the tide against this relentless force.